friends, it's Diana here today, and today we are sewing the Beach Dreaming crop top. This is a pattern that we have for kids and adults, and it is so easy. We're gonna get it done super quick. You'd be like, and it's really cool because we have the kids and the adults, and you don't even have to worry about sizing and everything, and you can make just a cute crop top tank. And sometimes I even lengthen it a little bit to make just like a longer tank. So this is really, really cool. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. Once again, I'm using the Beach Dreaming crop top from Ellie and Mac. But before we get started, let me remind you of our fun fan giveaway of $50 Ellie and Mac gift certificate. And all you have to do is subscribe to our channel if you haven't, and then comment below and you are entered for our giveaway. So let's get started. I've got my pieces, and there's only 3 pieces on this pattern. Super easy, easy peasy. So I've got my back and I've got my front, and I'm gonna put them right sides together on top of each other. And we're gonna literally just sew it up together. We're gonna sew our shoulders together, and we're gonna sew our sides together. So I'm gonna just go ahead and pin everything at the same time, just because that is what I like to do. This is such an easy top. You're gonna be like, wow, anyone can sew this top up. It's amazing. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and serge. I am serging on the sides, but you can use, if you don't have a serger, you can use a sewing machine. You just have to pick a stretch stitch that works best for your fabric, and that will be just fine. Zigzag stitch, lightning bolt stitch, either one. So I'm just sewing those shoulder seams and side seams really quickly. What takes the longest is cutting with these dull scissors. I need to sharpen them, they're so bad. All right, now we are done assembling our top. Now we're gonna go ahead and do our waistband. We will be hemming our armsicles and neckband. So, cause it's just a simple crop top, but so we will be hemming those. So if you don't have, I have a cover stitch, so I won't do this step, but if you don't have a cover stitch, the pattern suggests that you serge or zigzag stitch, you finish the edges all the way around the arms, all the way around the neck, and all the way around the other arm. And it'll help when you go to hem, because you'll have that trim, and then you just fold it over and top stitch, hem it, okay? But we'll do that in a minute. I'll do that in a little bit. Let me go ahead and do our waistband. I'm gonna grab my waistband, I'm gonna fold it wrong sides together, I'm sorry. And I'm gonna give it a memory fold. So now that it's got a memory fold, I love seeing the steam. We're gonna fold it right sides together, and I'm gonna sew that raw edge right there. There went my scissors. Ooh, I feel like I'm so close to the iron. Don't want to burn myself. Okay, and so then I'm gonna fold it back on that line that we made, that memory fold, so that the raw edges are touching. I'm going to pin at that seam, back seam, and then I'm gonna fold it fold it right here on that side seam, and I'm gonna go to the front and mark it, and I just do a little tiny notch. You can't even barely see it, and you won't be able to see it once you sew it on. You will eat it. And then I'm gonna meet the front and the back, and I'm gonna go to the sides, and those are my quarters. Same thing, I'm just notching a little tiny piece, just so in case my pin moves or anything like that, I still know where I'm supposed to be at. And then I'm gonna grab, I was like, where's my tomato? Like, That's my baby tomato that has like no pins in it. This one's got all the pins in it. Okay, I'm gonna grab my top. I'm gonna match the side seams, and I'm gonna go to the sides. And that is where I'm going to match my quarters. So I'm gonna look at it. The lower neckline is the front. So I'm going to place my band. I'm gonna fit it right over my top, right sides. And this seam, I'm gonna put that seam on the back. So I'm gonna make sure this is the front. So on the back is where I'm going to pin that seam. And I am pinning raw edges together. And matching the two side seams of the top. And then the other quarter marks that I made, front and back. My son has got a couple little friends that came over to play, and they're playing video games, and they're so funny. I love hearing them have their conversations as they're beating each other. And so usually my son likes me to, we only have one child, and my son likes us to play against him, and he's always beating us because, you know, he plays, we don't really play. I mean, I played when I was younger, but I haven't in forever. I sew. That's my hobby. And so he always beats us, no matter, like, I guess I could probably get better if I keep playing, but anyway, he always beats us. And so this little friend of his he's same age, he's a year older, and he plays video games, the same games he plays all the time. And so he's like neck to neck. They're like going back and forth, first and second place. They're fighting back and forth. So it's really neat because it's like a lot like actual competition. So he's having so much fun. But anyway, okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and sew this band. I don't know why I'm talking about that, but I'm gonna sew this band. And as you can tell, the band is a little bit shorter, so you're gonna have to like pull the fabric so that it's even as you're sewing. I'm gonna lift it up. I'm gonna grab it. I usually use my ring finger and my thumb to grab where I pin. And then I use my middle finger and my index to grab farther up. I have big fingers, so it helps. And then I use this hand to move around where I need to go. And I make sure that it's all even, that raw edge. And then I sew. All right, so now that I sew that on, I'm gonna steam my seam. I always like to steam it because I wanna make sure that it lays nice and flat. So when I turn it, because if one side is going up and one side is going down, it's not very nice. In this little tail, how I tuck in my tails is I put it right over the seam. I go right over the seam, and then I zigzag stitch it onto the seam, just the seam allowance. I'll show you. So usually I would do it with the thread, the same color thread, but I did it with a different color so you can see. Here's the tail, so now it's nice and tucked in. And I trim it, and then it's gone. Tail is gone, especially if you did it with the same color. Like right now, I did a different color so you could see it, but with a regular color, it would be just good. And we're almost done. So I already hemmed my sleeves. So we're gonna do the same to the neck and the sleeves. So I'm gonna show you. I actually like to do it inside out. And then if you serged already around the neck, this step will be super easy. Sometimes it's a little bit more challenging trying to fold it down when you didn't hem. But if you did, then it would be like, if you didn't serge it, but if you did serge it already, it would be great. But the reason why I'm not serging it is because I'm doing a cover stitch, and a cover stitch will already have like the serged edge. If you can see, like it has the, you know, it leaves it nice and finished. So I don't need to do it twice. So I'm folding it down that hem. And what you need to do is you're gonna fold it all the way around, and I am steaming a lot. That's what I do. I don't pin, I usually steam. So I'm going to steam it all the way around. But if you pin, then go ahead and pin. But I don't know why I use as little pins as possible, and then I usually just like to steam a lot, especially depending on what fabric you're using. This is cotton lycra, and this one is actually really, really nice. Sometimes it's really stubborn. This one came from Joann's, this cotton lycra. So I'm gonna go ahead and sew all the way around, top stitch all the way around. And like I said, I'm using my cover stitch, so it makes it pretty easy to just cover stitch all the way around. If you don't have a cover stitch and you're just doing a zigzag stitch, then that would be just fine as well. Double needle, zigzag stitch, any kind of stretch stitch will do just fine around the neck. And I'm gonna trim those, turn it around, and we are done. How cute is this? And how easy was it to make this little cute crop top? Super easy, super cute. Go ahead and make yourself a ton of these. Like I said, sometimes I make it a little bit longer, and you could work in for putting it under anything. It is super cute. Or if you wanted to make it shorter, for as your girl gets a little bit older. So yeah. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please let me know if you have any questions. Please come and like, share with others. Come like us on Instagram, and follow us on Facebook. We'd love to see what you're making and for you to see what we're making. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.